Over the past 3 seasons, it's pretty clear to see Arsenal are one of the very best teams in the Premier League, maybe even the world. And although the team is full of superstars, there's a tactical genius behind the scenes, pulling the strings of Arsenal's most dangerous weapon. Now, as we know, Arsenal are chasing down Manchester City in the hopes of winning a Premier League for the first time since 2004. And in order to topple one of the greatest sides in history, you're going to need every advantage you can take. And this is why Arsenal are now some of the best dead ball specialists in world football. So how exactly have Arsenal managed to do this? Meet Nicolas Jover. You may or may not know him already. Sometimes you can see him take Mikel Arteta's role on the touchline when Arsenal have themselves a set piece. Born in Berlin, Nicolas Jover started his coaching career at Montpellier as a video analyst. While working at Montpellier, he took a match analysis role for Croatia for a brief spell in 2013. He then moved to England as an assistant coach of Dean Smith at Brentford from July 2016 and was a part of now Brentford manager Thomas Frank's coaching team until June 2019. In July 2019, Manchester City approached Jover as an assistant to Pep Guardiola, specialising in set pieces, on the recommendation of Mikel Arteta, who was the number 2 at the Etihad at that time. Now, Arteta left Manchester City for the Arsenal manager's job in 2019, when he persuaded Jover to join the North London club with him. Jover is currently acting in the same role he did at Manchester City as a set-piece coach at Arsenal. Nicolas Jover looks at maximising Arsenal players' strengths and minimising the opponents. He treats every set-piece like a tactical opportunity to gain an advantage in the game. Arsenal are not a short team in stature. They have Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, who now looks to be a part of the starting lineup, Partey, Mourinho, Ben White, Havertz, all above 6 foot tall and are regular starters. Jover said the significance of player attributes like size, aggression and timing play a big part in why they are so successful at set pieces. I quote, "A big aggressive one with good timing is perfect," citing the Arsenal centre-back Gabriel as an example of a player with excellent timing and a strong desire to score. Nicolas Jover has also coached the set-piece takers, with Saka and Declan Rice typically taking most of the corners, and almost always hitting the exact right spot where they intend the ball to go. Arsenal take in-swinging corners, and normally put someone in front of the goalkeeper to block his movements, which is a completely legal thing to do in the game. The main culprit for this is normally Ben White. Now this is important because often with in-swingers the goalkeeper is the one who can come out and claim the ball, but if he is being blocked by a player, this makes it almost impossible to do, as he is going to leave his goal wide open if he is caught out in the box. Then you have your taller players, like Saliba for example, who is 6'4", or Gabriel, who is 6'3", making runs towards the front post from the back post, with Gabriel normally being the one to come out on top and finish the chance. Now this confuses the defence, because if they want to opt for a man marking approach where they stand with Arsenal man to man, they'll have to stay with their man and keep an eye on him as they make their zigzagging darting run towards the front post. And if they want to opt for the zonal marking approach, then they're going to have to watch over their shoulders and try to intercept the runs being made towards the front post, which is very difficult to do. Arsenal will also use decoy runners, leaving the space for more physical players to take advantage of. This is where you'll likely see Gabriel making a darting run towards the front post, or William Saliba, or Ricardo Calafiori, Kai Havertz. Typically there just isn't enough players to cover Arsenal's presence in the box, often leaving someone marked by a smaller player. Now before the game, Nicolas Jover will give the team a rundown on everything they need to know about the opposition when it comes to these situations, highlighting their weaknesses and figuring out a way to best position his players to capitalise on this. This plays a huge part in how they're able to convert corners and free kicks into goal scoring opportunities, which is why Arsenal scored the most set pieces in 2023-2024 compared to any other team in the Premier League. Not every set piece is the same. Arsenal obviously pay close attention to every detail on the training ground and conjure up something new very frequently, often catching the opponents out. Jover shed some light on the lifespan of set piece innovations in an interview, stating after 7 or 8 matches a combination can work again. He explained that the effectiveness of a particular routine depends on the frequency with which a team faces the same opponent. Now all of this simply would not be possible without their key man Nicolas Jover, because first of all no one has his experience and talent and understanding of everything about set pieces, as he has been studying and analysing them his whole career. But also Mikel Arteta himself and the other coaches have other aspects of the game to focus on, and cannot afford to be wasting time on something they don't have the expertise in. Arteta described Jover as someone whose expertise can be incredibly useful and valuable for us soon after his appointment. It's a crucial part of the game nowadays, he added. It's something you have to dominate and master, and we are in that process. Now what's funny is when you watch an Arsenal game and they're actually awarded a corner or a free kick from a dangerous area, You often now see fear in the opponent's eyes because it has become no secret how deadly Jover and the Arsenal players have become at these situations. Now mentally, I think this has a big impact on the game, because when a team is worried about your threat from these dead ball situations, they're going to try and avoid giving them to you, which can often disrupt their play and sway their focus away from the game. We've talked about the effects Arsenal have in an attacking sense when it comes to set pieces, but Jover has also done wonders for Arsenal in a defensive sense as well. They rarely concede set pieces from their opponents. Defensively, Arsenal know exactly what to do. As I said before, they have enough tall physical players to match any team in the league, and each one of them is passionate about not conceding goals, especially from set pieces. A lot of the time you'll see the players celebrate after defending a corner or a free kick, or any chance at goal for that matter. Jover emphasised the collective responsibility in defending set pieces, stating, "It's a team that takes a goal. When a player is beaten, it doesn't mean that the others have to stand and watch and be passive." Jover shared his insights on the different defensive approaches used in set pieces, such as individual marking, zone marking, and mixed marking. He noted that the preferred approach often varies depending on the team's culture and philosophy. Now, although corners are the main danger for Arsenal and they do score a lot of goals from them, they are definitely improving their free kicks as well. And with Jover's creativity, Arsenal are always coming up with new ways to create chances from these situations. These can change a lot from game to game, but typically Arsenal will again have their big men in the box, attacking the ball when it is delivered with perfection. But sometimes they might play a higher line and have them running into the box towards the back post, with the free kick taker often using stutters to disrupt the defensive line and catch them out. With the opponents occupied by this threat, it leaves spaces open for the more technical players to try and do something as well. Although Arsenal haven't scored buckets full of goals from free kick situations compared to their corners, they still create very good chances from them. And it's hard to say exactly how they aim to capitalise on the opponent from these situations, because as I said, it changes from game to game, and Jover is always trying something new straight out of the training ground. Arsenal are already joint top so far this season in set piece goals, and we can expect them to stay on top pretty much all season. They definitely look a more structured side this year as well, and some may say that some of the creativity from certain players has dropped because of this. But this is why the set pieces for them are so crucial, because it can often draw or win them games. Not to mention how it can completely change the course of a game as well. If you're able to score a set piece early on, then the game state can change and you're in the driving seat. Likewise, if you're down and get a goal from a set piece, it can spur the team to go on and possibly win the game. The Arsenal coach has stressed that set pieces are no longer just marginal gains, but essential gains that can significantly impact a game's outcome. Today, I no longer need to convince the players, but at the beginning, I was telling them, what if I could increase your salary by 20%? What do you think? Jover said, highlighting the growing recognition of the value of set pieces in modern football. Footballers aren't always going to play at their best level 83 games of the season, and they will experience some dips in form, and this is completely normal. And having someone like Nicolas Jover, who's probably the best set piece coach in the world, on your side to make your team experts at dead ball situations can be exactly what you need in times of struggle. Sometimes you got to make something out of nothing. Gabriel Magalhaes for Golden Boot, anyone? If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and leave a like and comment as well, as I make these videos every single week.